It's your boy Davidoff and welcome back to Premier League recap. Just the 6 games this weekend, obviously because of the FA Cup. Speaking of the Cup, by the way, people are saying that the semi-final should not be at Wembley because it takes away from getting to the final at Wembley, takes away from the occasion. I agree with that. I think they should do that. I don't know if they will. I don't know if they listen anyway. I mean, when do they listen? I mean, they charge fans so much. They sell rights for so much for Sky Sports and BT Sports, like charge so much money, and you don't even get every game. So they don't care about fans, do they? So I don't know if they'll listen, but a lot of people are saying the semi-final should be held not at Wembley, at neutral grounds, and well, Wembley's a neutral ground anyway, but it should be away from Wembley, and I definitely agree. If they do that though, they should change it up every year. Change it every single year. Basically, change it based on who's in the semi-final. So if a team reaches the semi-final, so if United get there, then the semi can't be at Old Trafford. Neither semi can. Not just their one, neither can be at Old Trafford. That's what I think should happen. Like, depending on who gets there, you pick what stadium holds that semi-final. Now, that could clash with fixtures, but then again, Villa Park and Old Trafford years ago didn't clash that much either. So I think there's a way to make it work for sure. So I think that should be done, because it definitely takes away from the Wembley occasion. But yeah, that was a great game on Sunday though. Watford v Wolves, that was a fantastic game. I thought Wolves would win, but Watford did really well to win. City beat Brighton in probably a dead game. I didn't watch it, to be honest. I saw the goal, I didn't watch it. It sounded pretty dead based on Twitter. I didn't watch it though, so how do I know? But I'm thinking City will win that game, and if they do that, they could well get a domestic treble. They could, because I think Liverpool could still win the league for sure. They got a big chance, I feel. We'll get to that in a second. But if they win the league, they'll get at the very least a treble. I'm not sure about the quadruple, to be honest, because Champions League is going to be the toughest one, I feel. And I mean, they can do it, but it doesn't mean they definitely will. I mean, if they beat Tottenham, and I think they'll probably get past Tottenham over 2 legs. I think it'd be tough. The first leg would be tough for them, I think. I'm recording this like half an hour before it happens. Like, it's just out the window. I can see out the window of the stadium. But if they get through Spurs, which I think they will over 2 legs, they could play Juventus, and Juventus have Ronaldo, and Ronaldo is Ronaldo in the Champions League knockouts. He's an absolute beast. And if he gets past that, if they get past that, then they might have to play Barcelona or Liverpool. You know, because Liverpool play well against them too. So I guess we'll see, but I don't think it's a given that they're winning the quadruple. But I think they could win the treble for sure. So yeah, anyway, enough of that, onto the league. Liverpool beat Southampton 3-1. There's a massive win for them. If you look at their fixtures, they've got Chelsea, Cardiff, Huddersfield, Newcastle, Wolves. Now what I'm thinking is, if they beat Chelsea, and that's still an if because you never know with Liverpool, if they beat Chelsea, I can definitely see them winning all 5 games. And yes, I know, by the way, they got Wolves on the last day. Wolves have got a good record against big teams. 4 points off United, a draw at the Emirates, 4 points off Chelsea as well, I think. Not 100% sure of that, but they at least got a draw at Stamford Bridge as well. They won at Wembley against Spurs. They knocked United out of the cup. You get the point. They have done well in big games, but I still see Liverpool winning that game against Wolves as well. So yeah, it's still in City's hands though, if you look at their fixtures. So they've obviously got the game in hand as well, which is important to note, but they've got Palace, Spurs, United, Burnley, Leicester and Brighton. Now, if Liverpool beat Chelsea, I think City will have to win all 6 games, I think. And it will be quite tough because that Spurs game is right after the second leg of their Champions League game as well, which is pretty funny. Not funny, but pretty coincidental. And then 4 days later, they got United. So if they get through those, for sure, they can win the other 3 games as well. So yeah, they could still go. I mean, they could definitely win. I mean, they're Man City, the strongest team in the country. They could definitely go on and win all these 6 games. But I'm thinking that Liverpool could well win the last 5 as long as they beat Chelsea. But you never know, Chelsea could do something because Chelsea are fighting for top 4 as well. Now, as an Arsenal fan, I do not want Liverpool to win the league. I don't really hate the club, but I don't like their fans. I think their fan base is very annoying, and they would be unbearable if they won the league. Having said that, my team comes first before anything, and Chelsea losing is a good thing for Arsenal. So I want Liverpool to win that game, honestly. So yeah, City can still win the league though. They win the last 6 and they can do that. Anyway, let's move on to Saturday's games. Obviously, Southampton on Friday night they lost to Liverpool. I still think they'll stay up, but Burnley as well got a massive win now. So I was saying that the relegation battle is either Burnley or Cardiff, but it might have changed a little bit now. But I still think Burnley not entirely safe yet, but Burnley have got Cardiff next, and Burnley got a great win at Bournemouth, which was great. Newcastle lost to Palace, and now they're below Burnley. They're still like 7 points above Cardiff, which might be enough, but it might not be. So if you look at the 4 teams above Cardiff, you've got Burnley, Newcastle, Brighton, Southampton. Southampton, Brighton could still go down, I think, for sure. Newcastle, Burnley, you would think they're safe, but I'm not sure they're safe yet. Having said that, Cardiff are Cardiff, and they have struggled in a lot of games, so they could send themselves down really, and there's already a big gap as it is, and they're running out of time obviously. Brighton obviously got 7 games to go though, so they might be okay. But look at their fixtures for a start. Burnley have got Cardiff, so this is massive. If Cardiff lose to Burnley, that'll be Burnley safe for sure. I'm pretty sure of that. Cardiff, that might well send them down, but again, you never know, so we'll see. And then Burnley got Chelsea away, then City at home, Everton away, Arsenal at home. And this is why I think Burnley might not be safe yet, because you never know. If they lose to Cardiff, suddenly they're in big danger, because their last 4 games do not look promising. So it's massive for them that they go and get their win against Cardiff, and I think they definitely can, but we'll see. Again, you never know. Southampton have got 6 games, obviously got a game in hand. They got Wolves, Newcastle, Watford away, Bournemouth, West Ham, Huddersfield. Now that is by no means easy, but I still think they should be able to get enough points from these fixtures to actually stay up. But we'll see what happens. Newcastle, I don't think they're going down for sure, but you never know. I mean, they're below Burnley, and I think Burnley could go down. But Newcastle got Leicester away, then Southampton, Brighton, Liverpool, and Fulham. Again, from these fixtures, it looks like they should get enough points, but again, you never know. It is Newcastle after all. Brighton got the most chances, obviously, because they got 7 games. They got Bournemouth, Cardiff, so again, that's a massive game. Imagine if Cardiff lose to Burnley and Brighton, that would be them definitely down for sure. But yeah, Bournemouth, Cardiff, massive game obviously. Wolves away, Tottenham away, Newcastle, Arsenal away, Man City at home. So you never know Brighton either, because they have got 4 big games just like Burnley. So I think their games get Newcastle, even like Wolves away is tough as well. That's another thing. By the way, I said 4 big teams. I'm sorry, I included Wolves. Sorry, but yeah, 3 big 6 teams, and obviously Wolves away as well. Those are 4 tough games. So the games against Newcastle, Cardiff, and Bournemouth are massive. These 2 home games against Bournemouth and Cardiff, they're going to be massive for them, and I think they can definitely stay up. And finally, Cardiff, it looks pretty bleak for them, to be honest. They got Burnley away, Brighton away. If they can beat both though, they can get closer to both, to be fair. But after that, they got Liverpool, which is a tough order. Then they got they got Fulham away, which is winnable, I think, because Fulham obviously already down. Don't know much to play for. It doesn't mean they'll be easy to beat, but you never know. Then they got Palace, which won't be easy either. Then they go to Old Trafford. So for me, even after seeing all this, for me, I think Cardiff are down, and that means this whole segment was pointless. But I did it anyway because I like looking at fixtures. So let's move on to the rest of the games. Leicester won 4-1 at Huddersfield. Huddersfield already down it, obviously, but Leicester, it's a big win for them because it puts them in 7th above Watford and Wolves, and it looks pretty tight in there because the race for 7th looks interesting, and we will get to that last. But for now, Arsenal's lost to Everton. I am very frustrated. Like I'm angry about it. I'm annoyed because for me it was a must-win game, definitely. Like before the game, if you asked me who's making top 4, I was saying Arsenal and Spurs. Whatever order, but Arsenal and Spurs I think were making it. Right now I'm thinking Arsenal United. Sorry, not Arsenal United. Tottenham United or Tottenham Chelsea. At the moment my confidence is completely gone because it only gets harder than this. We got Leicester away, Wolves away, Watford away, all in this month. We've got Palace at home as well. You never know that game either. Our home form's good though. Our home form's good. But our away form, not so good. We've lost to Everton. Now we've got Watford, Wolves, and Leicester away. Palace at home, Brighton at home, Burnley away as well. Burnley won't be easy either away on the last day. So you never know what could happen. You never know what could happen. So right now I'm not very confident. We played so poorly, especially in the first half. We hardly had an attempt. And it's our own fault really. We just didn't play well. I don't know what was going on with us. Everton played well though. They did play well, like in terms of like going forwards, even defensively. They played well. They just couldn't finish. Like it should have been worse for us. Worse than 1-0. But luckily it wasn't. I mean, it's not lucky anyway, we lost. But They could have battered us. Honestly, the chances they had, they could have battered us. They played well. They did everything right apart from scoring. As for us, though, we were so poor. We were so poor in that first half going forward. Offered basically nothing. Second half, much better. In the second half, we had a spell. First 10 minutes or so, had a few chances, fumbled them. That was our real chance to get back in there, and actually win the game. But we didn't take that chance. We didn't take our chances in that half, and we just didn't play well enough. Like, we didn't attack, and when we did attack, it just wasn't good enough. So yeah, it was annoying. Most of our players were bad. People are scapegoating Ozil. He was terrible. Not denying that, but the team was terrible. You know, Iwobi looked good when he came on, but by then it was too late, and he couldn't do anything either. So yeah, it was very frustrating. Very frustrating. At the moment, I'm saying we're not making top 4, but if we win our next 2 games, my faith will be restored. Now we got Napoli though. That's the problem. So our next 2 league games are Watford away, Palace at home. If we win both of those games, I'm gonna say, okay, we can make top 4 again. My faith will be restored in making top 4, and I think that can happen. Chelsea as well. They beat West Ham 2-0 on Monday night. Hazard played great as well, so there's another thing. So that puts them above us, which means we're 5th, which is very annoying. But if we win our next 2 games, then my faith will be restored, as I said. But the problem is, we've got Napoli as well. Now, no excuses, no excuses. If we don't make top 4, we don't make top 4. I'm not going to sit here and complain about other fixtures, but we've got Napoli on Thursday, Watford away Monday night, Napoli away on Thursday, 3 days after, then Palace at home, I think, on the Sunday. So that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. I believe we can win those league games. Napoli I'm not confident about. I'm less confident about that than the league games, surprisingly. But we'll see. Depends on how the first leg goes, though, because the first leg we could get battered, and then it would be over anyway. But if it's close, so if we're winning, obviously we're going to have an eye on the second leg. That might affect Watford away, but I hope it doesn't. I hope we beat Watford away, whatever it takes. And yeah, that's all I got to say on that, really. But let's look at the top 4 race. So I mentioned that we had tough fixtures, and as you can see there on the left, we got Watford away, Palace at home, Wolves away, Leicester away, Brighton at home, Burnley away. Now, Brighton, Burnley and Palace, I think we can beat, but I'm worried about Watford, Wolves and Leicester. And if we lose all 3, then we're not going to be in the top 4, are we? So yeah, big performances are needed, especially after losing to Everton. Everton are close to Watford, Wolves and Leicester as well, which is annoying. But we definitely need some big performances, and we need some results, regardless of performance. We need results for sure. We need to win our games. Every game's a must-win at the moment, every single game. So hopefully we can try and do that, but I'm not confident. I'm really not confident. Hopefully we can beat Watford and I can change my mind. Next up is Chelsea's fixtures. They've got Liverpool away, as you can see. They could well lose that or draw it. I would prefer that they lose it, to be fair. So that, like, the thing is, it might not just be in our hands. We might be relying on other teams to drop points. Obviously, Chelsea, Liverpool away, Burnley at home, United away, so they play each other. That should be interesting. Watford at home and Leicester away. They got Leicester away as well, to be fair, but it might be done and dusted by then. I guess we'll see what happens. United have got West Ham at home, Everton away, City at home, Chelsea at home. Now, all of that is within 1 week. That's notable, I think. 21st, 24th, 28th, I think. That's when they play those games, those 3 games. 3 tough games. If they get through all 3 with at least 6 points, that might be really good for them, obviously. And I think they can get those. But I'm thinking that Everton could beat them. I'm thinking that could actually happen. Hopefully they do anyway. Hopefully City do as well. And Chelsea, I hope Chelsea United draw as well. That would be great for us. Then obviously Huddersfield and Cardiff, I think they'll win both of those. And as for Tottenham, they have got City away, but the rest of those fixtures are all winnable. And I do think they will win all 4 of those games. Huddersfield, Brighton, West Ham. Oh, it's 5, sorry. 5. I apologise. Huddersfield, Brighton, West Ham, Bournemouth and Everton. I think they'll win all 5. I think they'll lose to City, but they'll make top 4, I think. Speaking of races, let's look at the race for 7th, because it looks very interesting, doesn't it? 1 point between the 4 teams. I'm pretty sure that if Man City win the FA Cup, 7th place will get Europa League. That's as far as I know, that is the case. So if Watford win the FA Cup, then I'm pretty sure they take the 7th place's Europa League space. That's what I think happens. That's what I think happens anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong for sure. Looking at their fixtures, Leicester have got Newcastle, West Ham, Arsenal, City and Chelsea. So it's hard to see them finishing 7th based on that, but you never know. Wolves have got Southampton, Brighton, Arsenal, Watford. They play each other as well, which is going to be very good. That should be a great game. Fulham and Liverpool away as well, so some tough ones in there for them. Everton have got Fulham, United, Palace, Burnley and Spurs away as well, so they got a few tough ones. And Watford have got Arsenal, Huddersfield, Southampton, Wolves obviously, Chelsea and West Ham. So, who makes 7th? In my opinion, Watford or Wolves. Whoever wins their game when they play each other will make 7th. And if they draw, then I have no idea. It's too close to predict anyway, so it's too hard to say. This was your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and see ya.